Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this portion of the video, I wanted to pot up these propagations because they do have some roots available. And so I thought it was time to make some pots up with them. And I have these 2-inch pots here that I hauled with you guys not too long ago. I also put the mesh bottoms on them already. And I have this jug here that I want to rinse out the fluval in this jug. I have some Hoya gracilis in this one. This one here has all of the Hoya Matilde. I have another tray that has some Hoya Matilde. And this one here, when I ran out of fluval, I just used perlite and it has some Hoya Matilde. And this one here, I have some Crassipediolata Splash and some Hoya gracilis or Memoria. And this one is a combination of the Crassipediolata Splash and the Hoya Matilde. And so I have a little tool. I've never propagated in these, but I have this little shovel tool that I think can help me pull the cuttings out. And I think I'll use this saucer as well as the water jug to help me out. I'm going to point you guys down a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully it doesn't cut me off too much. Okay, so it looks like I am going to be cut off, but that's okay as long as you can see what I'm doing. I think I'm going to try with the perlite first and remove the metal propagation pins that I used. So let's move these aside so they're not in our way. Put the jar here. And I have a container. I'm just going to put these pins in this container. So the idea is to pull these out with minimal damage. They do have some roots. And then later on, I will take everything out of the cell once it dries up. So it looks like this growth here is breaking off. So I'm just going to rinse them in the water. If they have a little bit of perlite, it's not a big deal. We can keep the perlite on. And I'm just going to set the cuttings in here as I remove them. Maybe I'll put this in frame so that you can see the cuttings. There we go. That's a little better. I never dated these, so I'm not quite sure how long they were in the propagation. I think in the future I will probably date it just so I can get a gauge as to how long it took for them to grow some nice roots. I forgot to take the pin out of this one. Again, I don't have to remove all of the perlite. This one doesn't have a whole lot of roots, but I think it's enough to pot her up, especially since we're in the growing season. This one has a really nice long root. This one also has some nice roots and 2 new leaves. So that is that one. I'm going to just let this tray dry out, and once it's completely dry, then I will take the perlite out on a separate day. Now we're going to work on this Hoya Matilde tray. I'm going to try and remove all the pins first. I don't think all of them have pins. We will see if we have any losses here. Trying to be careful not to knock any of the new leaves off. I think I got all of the pins out. Looks like the ones in fluval rooted up a lot better. They have a whole lot more roots. So fluval is definitely the winner here in this propagation. And if you guys remember, I used dryer sheets on the bottom so that the fluval and the perlite wouldn't escape from the bottom of the trays, the little holes. This one's really rooted as well. So once I get these potted up, I will monitor them and their growth. And if I see some happy growth and as well as more roots on the outside of the smaller pot that I'm going to put them in, then I will list them on PalmStreet, maybe even on Facebook Market. So if you follow me on Facebook Market or on PalmStreet, keep an eye out for these Hoya Matilde. They're supposed to be the Hoya Matilde Splash, but my Hoya Matilde Splash is not that splashy, but you never know if she can get splashier than what she currently is. And the only reason that I'm even rinsing these out as I take them out is because I want to check the stem and make sure that the stem is still good and not rotted out or anything like that. I have to say I'm really impressed in the amount of roots that this Hoya Mathilde has grown so far. I really don't think it's been that long, maybe about a month, maybe less than a month. And I'm just going over the outer edges on all the sides to loosen the roots up before I try to pull it out, trying to get minimal damage to the roots. Look at that one. Beautiful roots on that. So these are the Hoya Mathilde that I got out so far from the 2 trays or a tray and a half. I'm going to go ahead and skip you guys through the next, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4 trays, and I will be back when I'm ready to pot them up. So we only had one Hoya casualty. Here are all the Hoya Mathilde cuttings that are rooted, and I think I'm going to put 3 to 4 pieces per pot, and if I need to upsize them, then I will eventually. Going to use my chunky mix, and I put a scoop in here this time. I remembered. And going to also use my Myco Extreme. Hopefully 3 or 4 cuttings is okay, not too much. I'm just going to grab and plop. So that is our first one. Nice and full. I think 4 cuttings in that small pot is a good amount. Where's our next pot? They're so cute. What is our next one? Here she is. All done. I think some of them roots are exposed on the top. I'm going to just add a little bit more. Maybe I will pin her down. There we go. Oh, is that one? There goes that one. There she is. Okay, so we're all done with the Hoya Matilde. We're going to go ahead and water. So now we have 9 Hoya Matilde babies to add to the shop. I hope you guys enjoyed this part. I'm going to go ahead and do the Crassipediolata and the Gracilis on my own, and I'll be back to show you what they're looking like. So here is the tray, you guys, all potted up. I have the Hoya Bella. I have quite a few of those 2-inch pots. I also had the Pitchii, Crassipediolata, the Gracilis, and the Hoya Matilde. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my PalmStreet, and I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. Bye!